everyone, it's Irene, and I have a tutorial I'd like to share with you today. The tutorial will be on these flower pens. I've had some requests regarding how I make them, and I would like to share and show you how I make them. People assume how they're made and end up making it the wrong way, I think, and only to find out that they don't work or they fall apart, and people just have them in a pen cup and they just sit there pretty, as they should, but they should also be functional. So let me show you how to do that. So let's get started. Some of the pens I like to work with is from Papermate, and it's one of these looking pens. And you want to get a pen that works really well, and this is a fresh box of pens. You don't want to get a box of pens that have been around for a while. So if you go to your Dollar Tree, these came from Staples, but I know if you go to Dollar Tree, sometimes you could buy pens there that have been sitting around. So it's up to you if you want to try it out to see if it works or not. But after all the work you do to them, it's worth buying these pens right here. Or if you go to Costco or Sam's Club, Walmart, you just want to get a fresh box of pens. So what I do is, once I get them out of the box, the top I throw away. I try to find something I can do with these, but sorry, I can't do, so I will be throwing this away. So off it goes. I take some of these pliers, I take off the top. You don't need that top, and you just pinch it real quick, and it comes, and wiggle, and it comes right out, and that can get thrown away too. And then what I do is I also gently remove this pink cartridge, and I'll show you why. You see how long it is right here, and it's empty? I just take half of it off, and I'll show you why in just a minute, but that's about how much I cut off, just about half of it, okay? And then I put it right back inside its cartridge. Now the pen is ready to go. So let's talk about the flowers. Obviously, you can get your flowers at Dollar Tree or anywhere that you shop, and it's just a great way to use up a stash of these silk flowers that are just sitting around doing nothing. And in my case, my mom has plucked a lot of mine out, and I had to just find the parts and pieces. So what I do is I go ahead and cut about an inch up to the neck of the flower, and I absolutely want the leaves to be a part of it. But see that bulkiness right here? I take that out and I save it. I actually have a project on my channel where I save these little bits and pieces and I make fairies out of them. So if you want to check out the fairy video, it's a couple videos ago, but I do show you how to use these pieces in some fairies that I make. But I take the leaf and I put it right back, and it eliminates that plastic bulk on the neck of that flower. And I wanted to show you this wire right here. A lot of people, when they take the flowers off the bush, they just take the flower and they pluck it. Well, when you do that, you are not taking in this wire, which you need, and then you're stuck with just a flower. And so you absolutely need this wire. So don't be just plucking the flower off your bush. You want to cut about an inch right there. So that might be a little bit too long, but I'll show you. Remember, I cut the cartridge off that pen? Well, what you want to do is because it allows that, see how far down it went? That's why I do it off the cartridge, is it allows that flower stem to go down in the barrel of the pen. Okay, so that might be a little bit too long, so I just take a little bit off. Just snip it right off. Now it's about perfect. See how the stem of the flower does not touch the top of that cartridge right there. And there's space. Okay, so there you go. The pen is ready. So what I do is I fill that cartridge with my glue pen just a little bit. With some glue, just a little bit like that. See, I didn't go very full. I take my flower, stick it into that hot glue, and I press down into the flower, and I allow the flower to dry like this. I don't do this because I don't want the glue to go into the ink cartridge. So I let the flower glue just like that. And I make a whole bunch of them. So in this cup, I already have quite a few cartridges already done up, already trimmed up and ready to go for me. And so that's what I do. A production line is the best way to do these, because you can just sit here and make them as you do your watching TV or so on. And here's one that I'm going just to cut shorter. Really easy. Take a cartridge, take my glue gun, put a little glue, just like that, stick that flower right in, and press all the way down. And it's going to dry just like this. And I just lean it against something. See, I just leave it right there leaning. And as I go on to the next, and like I said, these already been trimmed. Take my glue gun, put a little squirt of hot glue, and then stick that pen right into that flower. Make sure it makes a really good connection there. See, that's why you don't want to pull that flower off that bush, and you want to cut that wire with the flower because you need that. Just stick it inside. What a lot of people do is they don't want to go through the hassle of trimming and pulling and tucking it out, and they just take the stem of the flower and they stick it to the side of the pen and then put their flower wrap around there, and it doesn't make it into a very pretty pen. So that's just a nice, neat way of doing it if you do it this way. Alright, so this is one of my first pens, and it's already glued. It's not coming out. So what I do is I get some of this floral tape, and it's the kind that when if you pull on it just a little bit, the waxy substance activates, and it will stick into it itself. And what I do is I wrap it like this. Just really quick here. Let me get my grip. I get it all started on top there, of the top of the flower, and as I'm twisting, I'm also pulling onto that floral tape, and I'm activating that wax. And just twirl, twirl, pull and pull, and there it goes. And then I just wrap and pull, wrap and pull, wrap and pull, and I just keep twisting nice and neatly, getting it very well covered, just like that. And see, it goes very quickly. Alright, almost to the end there, and I get that cartridge almost covered because at the tip you can tell what kind of ink that is. And then what I do is I turn it upside down and go back up again. It's just a little bit of reassurance that I got it good the first time down. Now I'm getting it back up. And it's just nice to end the tip underneath the flower so your ends don't show. And there it is. Your pen is done. And let me just get a piece of paper here real quick and show you that the pen does work. See? The pen does work. Yep. So that's how you make these flower pens. And as you know, I like to do is I like to add bells and ribbons and charms, and they make a really pretty pen, and you can make them all kinds of colors. So I hope this was helpful to all the people who've been asking, and if you have any questions, please leave them below in the comments and I'll try to get back to you on them. But this was a really fun project. It's an old project. It's been around for many, many years, and I hope this helped all the ones out there who were wondering how I make them. Thanks so much, everyone, for stopping by and viewing this tutorial, and I hope everyone's having a great evening. Have a great week ahead. Bye-bye.